स्मार्ट हो रहा है इंडिया जैसे इंडिया में बना एलिस्टा स्मार्ट एलईडी टीवी विद वर्ल्ड क्लास क्लैरिटी एंड अमेजिंग फीचर्स।
So let me start by talking about that Multan Sultans signing. You are being signed as the fast bowling coach of Multan Sultans. How did that job come about?
Yeah, so around 5 years ago, I met Ali Tareen and went out to Lodron to do a fast bowling camp for first-class cricketers, under 19, under 23 players, all the way up to PSL players as well. And I went out with my coach and mentor, Ian Pont, and we ran a 7-day camp out there. I think it was 7 to 10 days. I can't specifically remember because it was a while ago. But yeah, we had a great time. We kind of taught them the biomechanics, how to bowl faster. They engaged with us really well. And from there, I've developed a really great relationship with Ali. He's certainly empowering women through sport. He's a visionary, so this is an amazing opportunity for me. And yeah, having been to Pakistan twice, I know there's such a passion for cricket, so I'm really looking forward to it.
You just talked about empowering women through cricket. So what is it like for a woman to get a fast bowling job as the fast bowling coach of a men's franchise side?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I think it shows a lot of girls and women who are out there playing or coaching in cricket that there is a pathway. Now we see professional sport in the UK through cricket. You know, you could be a professional here, you can be a professional around the world playing women's cricket. There's franchise cricket now, which is great. And then to the side of that, there's coaching. And I mean, there's a lot of very, very good coaches in the women's game. So to have an opportunity to go across the men's game is a door opener for sure. And I'm hoping that more and more women over the next couple of years go into those environments and maybe even break into men's international teams as coaches as well.
You just talked about women coaches. So Alex Hartley, former England spinner, will be joining you at the Multan Sultans as the assistant spin coach. So what is it like having someone like Alex Hartley around?
It's fantastic to have Alex. She brings a wealth of experience and knowledge from playing international cricket. She's won a World Cup here in this country. I was actually in the stands watching her. I played a lot of cricket with Alex as well. We played the Middlesex together. We played at Gunnersbury Cricket Club here in London as well. So we know each other very well. But yeah, she's gone on and had an amazing commentary career. So she will have a lot of knowledge to bring to the table. So I'm really looking forward to catching up with an old teammate, but also bouncing some ideas off her as well.
Again, talking about women's coaches, even in the women's game, there are many coaches. There are obviously at the lower levels, but higher level jobs are always more men and then women. Of course, there are exceptions like Charlotte Edwards. So how do you see that progress of women taking over coach side of women's sides?
Well, I think now that the women's game is fully professional and we're seeing international players who will have an international career will then probably look at a job within coaching. But there's also a lot of really good coaches already out there. As you mentioned, Charlotte Edwards is a fantastic coach. We've seen Sarah Taylor, who was really the first one to break into men's cricket. So I believe over the next 10 years, we will see a shift in that, and there'll be a lot more women's coaches going through the levels and then making their way up to, men's first-class cricket, men's franchise cricket, whatever it may be, but also leading women's teams as well across the world in franchise and international cricket.
Generally, considering women coaches are very few in men's cricket, there are apprehensions and doubters. There will be doubters who talked about the qualification or those sort of things. So how do you deal with it?
Yeah, to be honest, I've never experienced that. I've been over to India, I think for 10 years as well. I've coached in India for a long time. I was at the Rajasthan Cricket Association and I worked with Deepak Chahar there and two of their first class players and then under 23s down, male and female in that camp. I've been to India, Bangalore, to KOIC many times to work with both men and women. And then obviously to Pakistan twice to work with the guys over there and some of the girls. So I've never experienced any kind of pushback. And I always say this, but I think if you're adding value to a player and you're making them better, then they don't mind where it's coming from. And hopefully my style is approachable. And that's really important. Your style as a coach, really what you're saying is one thing, but how you're delivering it is something else. So if you can deliver it in a way where people want to be coached, then there isn't really too many barriers, which is great.
So now let's talk about the specifics of your coaching. How did you start taking up coaching? When did you start coaching?
So I had a cricket career that could have been better, let's put it that way. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but I was really driven to get to the highest level possible. I was very fortunate to play for Ireland, went to the 2016 World Cup in India. But alongside that, because we weren't getting paid, I had to think about what was next. And I started coaching in my first year of actually doing my university degree. I began to coach a Hudson Cricket Club here in Essex. And yeah, it kind of snowballed from there. I was working a lot with Ian Pont on camps and assisting him, and then it's just grown and grown and grown. And instead of doing my degree in PE teaching, sports teaching in schools, I didn't do that. I finished my degree, and then I went off and became a coach after it. So it's been an interesting journey, and I think everything that's happened to me has made me a much better coach than I was a player, for sure.
So you talked about Ian Pont, your mentor, and the National Fast Bowling Academy. So can you talk more about Ian Pont and the academy?
Yeah, so we set up a National Fast Bowling Academy here in the UK. We're in our 6th year now. We have some amazing coaches with us. We've got a level 4 coach. We've got Andre Nell, who's also with us, who's obviously played over 100 times for South Africa. He brings a wealth of knowledge as well. And we really try to assist players here in the UK with their skills and their biomechanics to make them bowl fast, but also injury prevention. We've seen a lot of fast bowlers breaking down over the last few years, particularly with back injuries. So we're really strong on that side. We've got a great S&C coach as well who looks after our players really well. So it's kind of an academy where we welcome everybody. It's an open academy. We had players who travel in from Sweden, Denmark, fly down from Scotland. So yeah, we're obviously doing something right, and hopefully we can produce some great cricketers from that.
So you talked about the injuries. Obviously fast bowling means there are a lot of injuries. So you guys stress on the technique of fast bowling. So can you talk, elaborate more on the things you guys focus at the academy?
Yeah, sure. Technique is really important as a fast bowler. If you think of batting, a coach will say the fundamentals of batting, the head position, grip stance, whatever it may be. And those things are fairly similar for every player. They're fundamentals that you have. But then every batter has their own style. It's the same for fast bowling. There's fundamental things that you can do better. Like, for example, you don't want to fall away a lot in your bowling action, because if you have that fall away, or lateral flexion as we call it, that's going to put a lot of pressure on your back. So there are things that can prevent injury and also increase speed. For example, keeping your front leg straight, having a delayed bowling arm, having trunk flexion, all these things you can do better. But the most important thing is doing that within someone's style. You never want to take someone's style away, but you can improve their structure. So on the academy, we're very big on that. We're big on technique, but also you've got to bowl it in the right place. You can't just, be fast and wild. You have to be accurate, and you have to have great variations, as we've seen, particularly in this T20 World Cup. If the ball isn't swinging or doing something, or you're just fast and you're not swinging it, or you haven't got good variations, you're going to get found out. So it's about giving the players as much of a toolkit of fast bowling to be able to deal with situations like that as they go through their career.
Speed is not everything, but still, how much bowlers can go further in terms of speed?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see over the next couple of years how we can break that speed barrier. We saw Shabnam Ismail in the World Cup in South Africa hit 80 miles an hour, which was incredible. No woman had ever done that. Catherine Fitzpatrick came close to it, 79 point something, but nobody had hit 80. So can we go above 80? I think so. And now there's, as I said earlier, more professionalism within the sport, more understanding of strength and conditioning, more players coming into cricket, into women's cricket. I think that barrier may even go up. So over the next few years, it'd be really exciting to see where it takes us.
स्मार्ट हो रहा है इंडिया, जैसे इंडिया में बना एलिस्ट्रा स्मार्ट एलईडी टीवी with world class clarity and amazing features.